everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart, and welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. I know everybody is very busy and you can be doing any number of things right now instead of just watching me here create another charcuterie board. So what I'm doing, just so you know, I have a silicone mat here. The silicone mat was purchased off Amazon. I have found a really beautiful color palette. It's similar to one I've used before, but it is just spectacular. And I'm going to make a bloom about 9 inches or so by 6.5 to go on a really pretty new board that I'm going to be using. So here I'm just showing you the raw board. This is a cherry piece of wood I cut to about 24 inches in length. So let's just get started. So with any bloom, the recipe calls for 3 components. The first part is your pillow paint, and that's what this is here. This is my Glidden 6011N. that I'm going to use is the pillow paint, and this is the paint that you put down first in the bloom recipe, in the bloom technique. And it'd be nice if I was a little more centered. Hello. Maybe I am. All right, it's not too bad. I always have trouble getting centered. I wish I had a template I could just step it into. Okay, so hope that's about right. All right, so that's the pillow. So now my colors. And I really don't like these because you can see the crease in it. I don't like that it's creased. I cannot get the crease out. I've laid it flat for a long time. Colors. This is my Amsterdam Sky Blue Light. And I just have been loving this color. And I really love this on the charcuterie boards because this blue, this combination, really plays well with the wood. It's just gorgeous. And I'm doing it in a little bit of an oval because I'm going to blow it out in that direction because I need it to be wider than it is deep because of the shape of the board, which I might show you. I might inset it here. I don't know. Okay, so that's the blue. This is Benevolence, which is a color that the Fluidart company was made in a limited distribution last year, limited production, in honor to help with the Hurricane Helene victims. I of which was one of them, because I live in Asheville and we literally got creamed last year. We got creamed. That hurricane was not nice. So that's Benevolence. This is a combination of Golden's Iridescent Pearl and Chantilly Lace by Prism Pour. This is Golden's Iridescent Bronze. Here's a good close-up of the consistency. I look for about a 2-second trace. These are all mixed with my Infinity from Sherwin Williams and MinWax semigloss. So semigloss, Sherwin Williams, Infinity, I'll flash it up. And MinWax semigloss varnish. Combination. Quinacridone nickel lazo gold, which is no longer in production at Golden's. They stopped about a year ago. You can write to them and look up what they have as a substitute, which I think is 2 colors. And this is also with Zeus, some TLP. I gotta get my lips ready to go here. Payne's Gray by Golden. And I drizzle because I like to have the colors peeking through each other. It's the way I roll. Some people just put it down color over color. I don't typically do that way. Maybe rarely do I do it that way. Okay, so that's that. My cell activator. This is Australian, but I do have really good video 141. I will link it above. It shows how I make my American Floetrol cell activator, and I show making it and the recipe, which is very specific. This is titanium white, Australian. This is a 1.5 years old, by the way, this cell activator. Here's the white. Notice how little I'm putting down. I'm not pouring down a pot full. Oxide black. Always stir, drop it in. The halo's showing up. It looks good. Here we go. So I'm blowing straight down into that cell activator to try to get it to open up in a circle and form a little bit of ridge between the cell activator and where the paints are. And when I see that ridge, I'm going to aim my blow for the ridge as I blow this out in all directions. Now I have a really good video. It's 419. It's called The Art of the Blow. And in that video, I show you a cheat as to how to find your blow in your mouth in the first place, because it's not as easy as you think, and also how the speed and angle of your blow affect the way your composition blows out. It's definitely worth looking at if you're challenged by the blowout. Very nice. I don't show you this very often, but this is where we are. That's where the blowout is, right after the blowout. And I've mentioned this in other videos. I don't know if I've mentioned it in a video you've seen, but if anybody has any input on using the TLPs, I'd really appreciate it, because you can see the benevolence in there. And to me, it looks like it's spray painted. And every time I use a TLP, I get that effect. I can't seem to not get that, and I know it's got plenty of pigment in it. All right, now I'm going to pull some of the paint. Before I spin, I'm going to make sure I've got enough paint so that this piece has space to roll out onto. So I'm going on fast forward here. I'm going to take the opportunity to let you guys know that in my description, I have links to some of the products I use, to include a 10% discount code for KS Resin, and also links to some of the more educational type tutorials that I have to offer. All right, here we go. Gentle spin, just to assess where we are. Oh, at least I'm centered. That's a switch. Normally I'm not centered. Normally I'm all cattywampus. All right, let's do it again. Got a little white spot come up. I'm going to dunk it down. Right here. I'm going to tip it, touch it with the tip of this, and make the colors. So when I touch it with the tip, the white spot, and I pull up, the colors around it are going to go and kind of just like that, with the sound effects too. All right, so now I'm near the edge here. Right, see? I'm going to make sure I've got paint here to spread to, so as I spin it again, it has somewhere to go. Same with this. So I'm going to skip past this part. You don't need to see all this. So I'm going to skip cut through this so you get the gist of what I'm doing, and the importance is that the paint has a place to flow onto as it starts to stretch out. I'd also like to ask you guys to leave your comments and your thoughts about the video. A thumbs up is appreciated, and if you can hype it because you really like it, I'd really appreciate that as well. As we continue to go forward with the spinning, I'm going to cut some of it out. What's most important at this point is to continue to stretch it by spinning and continue to allow it to have flow paint to flow into as it's stretching out. So I'm going to skip cut through some of this. You're getting close. 9 by 7. I think we're about done. Let me show you the piece of wood that I plan on using for this. That's done. Really pretty. Really pretty. Here she is. So let me explain something. With my videos, I've started putting out different chapters of these creations. So I no longer have everything as one full creation of this type of creation. I'll show you, the next part will be showing you the final result. But I have 5 parts. This would be the first part. I have 4 other separate videos. The second video will be peeling this paint skin once it's dry in 5 days. Cutting it out and fixing the sides. The next part, part 3 or C, would be the application of the paint skin on the charcuterie board itself. Part 4 is a private tutorial, and I do have ask a small charge for that, but it is well worth it, I assure you. For my 2 years of playing with these types of things, I've learned how to make a beautiful, smooth, resined edge where the charcuterie board meets the paint skin. It looks beautiful. It's 37 minutes, and it's all in-depth detail with all of what I've learned. That's part 4, and then the last part is me finishing the board off where I'm applying the handles, the wood butter, and the finished bottom on the back. So those parts will be linked somewhere, and hopefully that'll all be a better and more efficient way of sharing these types of creations with you guys. Actually, I got like a little beauty mark there. I think I'm gonna keep that. All right, I'll be back with the final results. So here are the wet results. Even before we get to the finish, this is the one we just created, and here is the other one that I have attached to the board. And here are the final resined results. So I really hope you enjoyed this creation process. If you're new here, I would invite you to join me by subscribing, hitting the bell and all. You'll get all my latest art tutorials. I'd also appreciate a comment from everyone, even if it's a hello or a heart. A thumbs up and maybe even a hype is greatly appreciated. I'd like to direct your attention where the edge of the resin meets the board and that really nice smooth finish, and that's what my part 4, the private tutorial, is all about. So if you're interested in that, just email me. My email is in the description and we can get you set up for that. And before I go, I just want to remind you to check out the description, and also I have the 10% discount code for KS Resin. You get 10% off and I get 5% back toward future purchases. So I think that's all I have for now, everybody. Take care. Till next time.